Hello everyone, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Heat Death Survival Train. With our first episode, the last episode, we came all the way from Station 1 over there, to Station 2, and over to Station 3. We've explored all these buildings already, but before we move on, there is one kind of secret location that we need to explore too. We need to follow the train tracks down to this cliffside over here and not go too far so we don't trigger the drones. And there should be some pretty good stuff here. There usually is. So we'll get down this cliffside and onto the ice. And there's that right there, which has some stuff, but we're going to ignore that first. And we'll go to the more secret spot, which is right over there. There's a small cave right there that we're going to go to. And I will see you over there. We've arrived at the cave, and it's about to get pretty dark, but it'll adjust and reveal this area here. We've got stickers, smart material, a battery, a cartridge, tech scrap, blueprint, a medkit, canned soup, and another blueprint. Quite the variety here. So, we'll go back over to those rates over there, and I will see you over there. And okay, we've arrived at these boxes, and there's just an energy drink and this corrupt data log by Unknown. Let's try to read it. Found some good stuff here, but unfortunately the cliffs are too tall. My suit's power is low, and another storm is coming. I'm going to look around and find a shelter. If you read this and I'm not there, please look around to find me, or at least my stuff. And I'm pretty sure we found their stuff over there in that cave. Now this box fell off when we got close, and this is important as we need to use this to get back up onto the cliff. I've pushed the crate over, and I can now use it to get back up. Or try to, at least. Okay, I'm up, and I will see you back at the station, where we are now ready to move on. Okay, everyone. I am back at the station. However, there's another storm in 8 minutes, which is very close to not having enough time to make it to the next safe area in a tunnel way over there past the drones. To just be safe, I'm going to wait out this storm that will be coming up very soon, still in 8 minutes, and then we will move on. Okay, everyone, it's been about 15 minutes, but the storm is about to end, so we can now get ready to move on. So, let's get out of the station, and let's get close to the drones, but not too close to trigger them. I think this is close enough. So let's shoot down that drone, and shoot down that drone, and then, now that they're destroyed, we can move closer and get the loot. Let's gather the loot from this first drone, and see what we get. Nothing there. Blueprint. That's always good. Nothing there. Nothing there. Pretty unlucky so far. Nothing there. Nothing there. And I'm not touching that. It's radioactive. And then there's another drone that we shot down, and the loot from that is just down here. So from this first part, it looks like we'll get material. And then from this, tech scrap. See what we get from this here. Nothing. Material. Nothing. Material, material, and nothing. Not very good drone loot, but it's good for now. Looks like we missed one more piece over here. Oh, that was a radioactive piece. And then next, we'll go over to this derailed train. Okay, let's check what's in here. Some material. Smart material. Blueprint. And message. Train crash. We barely escaped from a storm attack that destroyed our train. Luckily, no one was hurt, and we grabbed what we could, but it's not much. We only have enough supplies to last a few days. If you're part of the backup team and you're looking for us, we're hiding in a nearby cave. And then let's check this car here. Get this here. And then we'll go check out that cave. So there's the cave entrance right there, but I will be taking a different entrance into the game. I mean, cave. So, gotta climb up this windy mountain and make sure that we don't slide off. Then once we get to a certain point, up here we are. We're just walking over here, and then we're now in the cave. We'll try and get down so we don't take too much fall damage. And we took fall damage. Let's go over here as well. Took some more. We'll get this sticker. And then we'll go over here. Didn't take fall damage that time. And let's get these materials. We've been stuck in this cave for 3 days now. The storm is too strong to go outside. We managed to salvage some batteries from the drones that attacked us. We've used them to power a makeshift heater that keeps us from freezing to death. It's not much, but it's better than nothing. We've also received a message that another train is on its way to rescue us, but they had to take a detour because of the storm. They should be here in a few hours if we're lucky. Alright, now let's get back to our train. Okay, let's get the engine on, and let's get moving. So our next stop is up in a tunnel over here, which we will then explore, and then move on to the next station. We have now entered the tunnel, and it's pretty dark in here. Alright, so we're just coming out of this first part of the tunnel now. We're approaching this gate. We'll just turn off the engine and fly the rest of the way, and we'll check what's over here first. An hour has passed since we arrived. We're so close to the main sectors just behind this wall. I can't imagine what it looks like without all those people, but at least it'll be warm there. Leaving this place was never going to be easy, but it's turning out to be much harder than we thought. The tunnel gate is broken. The other engineers are working to fix it. Hopefully, they'll have it up and running soon. We'll take all this loot, and then we'll read this message. Primary power grid is no longer connected to the tunnel gate, which is broken. However, I've managed to connect it to a battery in the nearby tunnel. If you're reading this and want to enter Sector 87, follow the cable to turn on the battery output. Be careful though, you don't want to wake up that scout drone. Let's follow this cable here, which is currently red. And from what I know about the game, the scout drone is not currently in it, so we can ignore that warning and just go straight over here to turn on this battery and collect some loot. Sticker, and smart material. After turning on that battery, this cable is now blue, so we can open this gate and move on to the next sectors. So let's turn our engine on and then get moving. Okay, we're just about to exit the tunnel, and our next stop is over there. Chapter 1, Death from Above. We're doing pretty good on power, but I don't know how long we have until the storm. I don't think we have long, so let's get over there quickly. Scavenger drones. These drones scavenge any item they can find, set a trap by dropping an item in their path, then hunt them for resources. And I'm assuming it's those drones that are just flying around over there. They're not hostile, so we can just move right past them. We are now approaching the station. And now let's stop the train, turn off the engines, and get inside quickly and bring our train. Okay, we are now bringing our train inside and away from the incoming storm. After we stop this train, let's go and check just how much time we had left before that storm hit. Next storm in less than a minute. We were pretty close. And now it's time to just loot the station. So let's start with these lockers. Two very good things, just right away. Refined fish fuel, don't need that. An energy drink, I'll take that. We'll take that weapons chip, not that, not that. This, and a note. Drop pods. The last time I visited, the weather was much warmer. I hadn't anticipated just how cold it would be this time. It's even more frigid than our outpost. Everything is frozen. We don't have the luxury of time to rest or take in the sights. The backup train isn't nearly prepared for the challenges that lie ahead. The drop pod ahead is terrifying. I'm certain there will be a swarm of attack drones waiting for us. And just like that, a storm has started. So let's do this. What we've just gathered back to the train. So first, I think a good idea would be to build another one of these power cells, which brings our total power up to 1700. And then up next, we can go and unlock this solar panel. So, to get that, we need solar plates. And to get that, we need a circuit board. To get a circuit board, we need an electrical component. For that, we need text wrap and a lot of smart material. So let's grab that. So, let's just start crafting. We now have what we need to craft the solar panel. And for now, let's put it on the back of our train. Right back here. We will move it before we leave the station, but that's good for now. We've got a lot of material and not a lot of chests, so let's move some of this out of the way and build some more chests. Okay, I've organized the train with more storage, and now I think it's time to start exploring. We'll get all that material and the stuff in here on the way back, as well as these lockers. First, we're going to go well over here. I don't know why this door is already open. I haven't been in here yet. We'll go down here first, too. Alright. So first, we'll explore this room and take everything from here. And there's a log for us to read. Another power core. That's pretty good. And now this log. Evacuation. I'm finally free from this repetitive and nerve-wracking work. The endless checking of incoming and outgoing cargo, coupled with writing reports in this cold and stormy weather, has worn me down. I'm utterly exhausted. The evacuation is in a few days. Right now, all I can think about is being somewhere warm and sunny, away from this relentless cold. I long to be by a serene pond, basking in the warmth of the sun and feeling the gentle breeze. Just the thought of it makes this ordeal a bit more bearable. So, now, let's continue exploring. We'll first go down and check out this room here and everything in here. Some material, extra energy drinks, small battery, more material. There's some medkits here, and then a blueprint here. There is also this building out here that we will also get to. In here, there's some more lockers, nothing in there. A lot of material. Battery, that, and this. We're now carrying too much, so we're walking slower. But now we need to check the top floor. Now up here on this top floor, there's just another blueprint and these three. And then we can make the walk back to the main building. Back in this building, we'll first check this room here. There's a battery over here, and then some energy drinks, which we'll actually use one of those right now. And then we'll go up, check what's here. We'll take this material, extract battery, and this blueprint. And then we'll go down to the bottom floor and into the Phyto Garden. Very dark here, so we'll turn on our flashlight. And then we'll get the seeds, the loot, more seeds, tech scrap, and organic soil. And then we'll get this one container under here. And then you'll return to the main station. In these lockers, looks like we just have a blueprint, another blueprint, and another blueprint. Then we will get what's in this room. So first we'll check these lockers, and then this here. Been getting a lot of blueprints. How many do we have now? 12. We can unlock these two, and then we'll continue getting all this material. And then lastly, for this part here, we just have this here, and then we'll get back to our train. Okay, I'm back at the train. I've just finished crafting all of the supplies needed for a second solar panel. And then after I put all this stuff away, there are 3, I think, more buildings that we need to explore. They're on the smaller side of what we've just explored, so shouldn't take too long to explore all that. Yeah. So the first building we need to go to is this over here, where there is a small building, but there should be a lot of material in there. And I can see a blueprint through the window, and then we have this crate. Not much material in here, actually. But there are still some good items. Never mind, there was quite a bit of material in here. And then next we need to go all the way over there, and we need to climb that tower there. So, as we climb this, we'll go all the way to the top of this tower, we'll take this cartridge, and then what we need to do is jump over to this here. I've made it, but I've taken quite a hit to my health. So we'll go over here and read this log first before continuing. Sometimes the key of locked doors is right where you least expect it. You just need to look a little closer. Pay attention to the comfortable chairs in this room and remember how many there are. Then count the sofas. Observe the doors to this room. They have something to say too. And then finally, don't forget to notice the glasses on the table. Not a riddle by unknown. So there's 3 glasses. There's 4 chairs. There's 2 sofas. So 4, 2, 2, 3, I think. We don't need that code quite yet, as we're just exploring this top level. But we will be taking these seeds. This locker has nothing. We'll check in here. Take this energy drink. On the other side of this door here is actually the other part of the station we've already looted. And then in here, just a cartridge. Not much, so let's leave. Go down to where we need to use that. So we'll take more fall damage, and then we'll explore in here. So this is not the locked room, but we'll take everything out of here. We'll take this blueprint and more organic soil. And we'll run around to the other side and get this. So 4, 2, 2, 3. That is not the code. So we'll have to go back and check that. So the chairs, sofas, doors, and glasses. So there's 4 chairs, 2 sofas, 2 doors, 3 glasses. I will be back in just a moment. Okay, everyone, a storm has started, but I have found the code. Or I actually just guessed the code. So we have some seeds to get here. And some tech scrap. And doesn't look like much else. So we're going to have to go around here and then make it back to the station. So we're carrying too much. So let's see what we can use. I think I can just drop this. I think I can just drop 2 material here. Then we can run. Okay, I've made it back to the station now. And let's heal. We'll use 2. And then, while we wait out the storm, we can build some new structures, which I unlocked. So, let's see what we need to unlock this. 2 mechanical parts. I have 1 of those here. So let's see. We need a lot of smart material. We'll need quite a few. So I'll craft all the materials needed. And then I will see you back here. I now have the materials needed to craft both the phytogen and the Seed X. So, we can use this to grow Atmos Phelius. Use this plant to cook food. And it'll take about 7 minutes to grow, but we can use this to make our own food in the biogen rather than looking around for Shadow Breeze. I think this is a good place to end this video. Thank you all for watching. In the next video, we will be going over to Station 5, and we will be exploring the lab over there, and then continue on from there. And look here, the storm has just ended. So, thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you next week with my next video. Have a good day, and goodbye.